because I have, again, like I said, a surprise guest for you. She was the former president of marketing, head of marketing of Sony Entertainment. And she will deliver us how these stuff work in real life and how you should be able to create solutions to problems such as like briefs, because you don't have the luxury to not to be able to understand a brief out there. So I seen a problem in here, reason why I would like to solve it with the help of my friend. So she will deliver us a speech about professional life, how we should deliver it. And hi Firuze, welcome. Do you have anything you would like to add up?
Hayır hocam, teşekkürler. Hi.
Okay, then also if you have mood board, we can examine it together like after 15:30. And I invite her with your permission. Okay, she'll join us in minutes. She also delivering some of other courses in your department as digital marketing and creating creative strategy courses. I think she's teaching at graduate level, I guess, not undergraduate. But I hope you'll enjoy this conversation. Hi, Aysun Hocam, how are you? Welcome. Can you hear us? Is everything all right?
Hello.
Oh, I noticed that how I missed you.
Yes, same
My
here.
dear friend, also colleague. I already had the opportunity to introduce you, but we would like to listen to you one more time from you if you want.
Yes, of course.
And be happy to have your experiences in real life. So stage is yours. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Berna. Hello, everybody. Thanks for the invitation, by the way, because I really like to, share my experiences for the newcomers to the industry, actually. Hello, everybody. My name is Aysun. I have more than 20 years of experience in the industry right now. I have worked for Pioneer, LG brands, Sony Mobile, and Yota devices. I was occupying the marketing director role. And in my latest corporate experience, when I was working for Sony Mobile and Yota devices, I was the country manager of the brand. And for Yota devices, I was also responsible from Israel market, besides Turkey too. Now it's been 8 years that I'm working as a consultant for marketing and communications. Besides, I'm the vice president of Sustainable Brands for Good initiative, which we are trying to build a sustainable life by transforming the culture, actually. So we feel powerful as the brands to transform the culture to be the more to adopt a more sustainable lifestyle, actually, for future. And I've been teaching marketing strategies, integrated marketing communications, digital communications, sustainable branding in Bahçeşehir University. Master classes. Besides, together with your Berna Hoca, I'm also studying my PhD in communication in our school, actually. So it's great to be here with you today.
Dear Aysun, let me ask you a question in the name of students, for sure. If there is anyone, maybe among the students, some of them watch it later or hear Firuze Denca, please boo them. Don't hesitate to join us. If there's anyone who is interested with the sustainability or brands or both, with standing in the intersection point of it, how they could reach to you or the corporation you're representing? I think it's an initiative or foundation. Which one?
Well, actually, it is a community. It is a global community. And this community includes many brands, marketing leaders, so including Procter & Gamble, Pepsi, Nestle, and everybody. I mean, all the brands that you may recall actually from the industry. Yes, yes. So what we are trying, we are collaborating with each other, learning from ourselves, conducting a lot of consumer researches around sustainability, so that, I mean, we are collaborating all our initiatives to transform the culture. So we are trying to reach the consumers to adopt a, sustainable lifestyle, like,
change their mindset to be able to
exactly. So to recycle their consumptions, or less consumption, or decreasing their carbon footprints and such. So, I mean, anyone that might be interested in the subject, you may, reach me out through you, Berna, or through LinkedIn or Instagram, and I may introduce you to the community anyway.
Message and
Of course.
application intention message, it will be enough. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank
So,
you again. Okay.
thank you. So actually, today I would love to make this conversation more proactive. So, guys, if you may have any questions, you may ask me. You may interrupt me and ask me. And same for you, Berna Hocam. You may interrupt me anyway. So today, my target is just to reflect to you my experiences, how as a brand manager, I mean, or brand leader, what had been the processes that we are following to build a campaign actually, and from the brand side perspective, what we are expecting from the creative teams or the creative agencies actually after the brief. However, I'm going to talk about what kind of steps we are going through, or what kind of processes we are going through till the time that we are writing a brief and reflecting to the agency or the creative side, internal creative side, and what we are expecting from them. Because what I'm experiencing from the industry is that for many creative teams or the creative agencies, especially the digital communications agencies, usually what I'm observing, they're not adopting a strategic mindset, actually. And what is the difference between a tactical person and a strategic person, actually? This is a huge difference, and many of the creative people do not know the strategic steps, so they cannot understand the brand's perspectives. Because when we are trying to build a brand, usually we are adopting a strategic mindset. So we have solid targets, solid KPIs. And however, when we give a brief to an agency, usually they just come up with great ideas, great tactical ideas that they think that it will work. However, I mean, any creative people, even my mom maybe, may come up with a good idea. But this is not the point. I mean, a good idea for a brand is the idea that is reflecting, or that will be helping the brand to reach its strategic targets. So that's the difference between only a tactical creative people or a strategic creative people. So especially when we're, I mean, defining marketing, we are saying that it is the arts and science to create a strategic approach to fulfill the needs and requirements and wants of target consumers. So actually we are starting with understanding the needs and wants of target consumers. And it is a strategy. I mean, when we call it science, it means, I mean, it's supposed to come up with strategy or data-driven facts, actually, data-driven insights. And the arts part actually is the creative part to attract the attention, to attract the attention so that the consumers, after taking their attention, grabbing their attention, they will be able to engage with the message more. So that at the very end,
can I add up something, or let's talk
Sure,
about
sure,
it a
sure.
little bit. It reminds me that at TikTok I was watching a couple of days ago. There was a girl mentioning about a highlighter which includes vitamin B in it. What kind of a specification in a product and how as a marketers or advertisers we carry out this whole, I almost call it, we can call it a discipline, I guess. Anyway, sometimes I think we don't just understand the needs of a consumer, also create it, shape it, redefine it, right? When I was watching, I was
Exactly.
exactly thinking about that with the help of
Exactly.
creative ideas.
Sure, sure. I mean, what we are teaching in my classes as well. I mean, and usually I'm cutting down the marks if a student comes up with creative tactical ideas only. I mean, because that's not what I want to see in the industry. So I mean, being only the creative, I mean, you're not the artist, right? I mean, we are not only trying to be artists here. So anybody, I mean, because there is three subjects especially in our country, that everybody thinks that they know. One is politics. Sorry, four things: politics, economics, football, and marketing. Everybody thinks that they have great ideas and great solutions.
The third one, politics,
Football.
economics, football.
Football.
Yeah. Yes, please join us, please.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Firuze. Nice to meet you, firstly.
Same.
And second, which of the studio items do you focus on the most in your marketing area? My first question. And second question, what are you think about greenwashing?
Yeah,
And
what was the first question, Firuze?
which of the social development goal items do you focus on the most?
Social development goals. Well, my area of interest is brand activism, to be honest with you. So, I mean, when thinking about sustainability, my passion is to create a resilient society by transforming the society. I mean, personally, that's the area I'm focusing. However, for when looking at the industry, I mean, there are some brands that they're focusing on the climate crisis, some focuses on to secure the natural resources, and some to create equity and equal opportunities for the public, actually. And for greenwashing, I mean, that's a good question. Again, I mean, I believe that the brands that are sued by doing greenwashing are the ones that do not really understand what sustainable brand means. And they're mixing the concept with social responsible campaigns. I mean, being a sustainable brand is not adopting or, doing some responsibility campaigns to deal with these kind of causes, environmental or social causes. You need to be really strategic. You have to, you know, transform your internal processes, your employees' mindsets, and production capabilities as well. So it has to come up with 360 degrees perspective. So for the brands that are viewed as being, you know, greenwashers, they're usually just applying some advertising messages without really adopting a sustainable perspective, sustainability perspective. So yes, there are lots of campaigns out there that we might position as greenwash.
Thank you.
So,
Permission, I also would like to add up something. Greenwashing for sure is a phenomenon that you have to deal with in your after your graduation, your professional life. But I would like to have to, I think, go dive into some place called, we call as scheme theory. In Turkish, Şema theory, we do that for you. I think Aysun Hocam also will give a hand over me. It's one of your favorite theories, I guess, right?
yes.
Yeah, because basically it says that as a consumer or even as a person, even just a media user, we have a tendency to, as users hanging around in digital media, but also in real life, to create shortcuts. It's accurate when we are trying to buy something. When you go to a supermarket, we call it as a moment of truth, and standing right next to, come just across to some of a product, let's call it a tea, for instance. What are the shortcuts or some magic? Let me get rid of my WhatsApp, by the way. Pardon me. What are the magic shortcuts or some of words, some of sayings, or some of taglines, brand names, packaging, colors? What are these magic touches make you to reach your hand, to make your hand to go over that shelf and to reach out to A instead of B? What are these reasons? We always, as marketers, take into consideration every single component can play a crucial role in these ideas or selections or decisions. But yeah, schema theory is basically scheme theory, pardon me, says that we, as human beings, we have a tendency by neurologically to create shortcuts. If you see a keyword, some of like something natural, you directly know that what is natural means it's the shortcut to go out there and take it. And if you want it, you'll go for it. Because most of the time we don't have enough time to reach out and look for it and search for it, we do not go for that. But after we, considering that the question, the greenwashing terminologies came up, and now we have the knowledge to address that situation, that problem. Now we have maybe to ability to solve it, and Aysun Hocam is doing it by working at brands. But yeah, okay, I would like to then
Yes, correct. Because I mean, many brands are using this kind of keywords to be paired with this concept, like natural, green, organic kind of stuff. However, there are some consumers over there that has enough knowledge to understand the difference actually, and what consumers trying to reach out is more information about the whole process for the brands. So for the consumers that can eliminate this kind of differences, actually they need to be able to reach a solid information about the brand and its processes and production processes as well. So that, I mean, these might be the consumers that might create the crisis at the same time. If they understand that you're greenwashing and you're not really doing your processes sustainably. Yeah. So Berna Hocam, if you don't mind, I have 3 slides only that I would like to
Just for-
share with you. So that, I mean, these slides will be helping you to understand the brand's perspective, how we are creating the strategies, and what kind of briefs we are giving to the creative departments or the agencies, and what we are expecting them in return. So if you can please give me the authority to share my presentation.
My bad. I'm immediately first. Yeah, here you are. You had it.
No, yes. So guys, again, I mean, you may interrupt me anytime you like. I think you can now see my presentation, right?
Yes, we can reach.
Yes. Yeah. So, how we are building a marketing strategy? I mean, we are going through 4 stages. First, for strategic plan. First, I mean, an organization on a company supposed to, create their values and missions. And then we turn these values and missions into more solid vision, future visions, and objectives of the company. Then, in order to be able to reach these objectives, we are doing an organizational strategy, and we create our product portfolio plan accordingly. Because think about Procter & Gamble, for example. They have many brands. So if you are a company like Procter & Gamble, first you will have an umbrella organizational values, missions, then your goals. And then in this, as you might see in this step 4, sometimes they're making some of the product portfolios the stars, and sometimes they're making some of the product portfolios like the question marks, or they just do not put all the resources for these kind of products, for example, the portfolio. So according to that, for these 4 steps, many departments in a company have to work together. The finance department, product department, research and development, marketing, communications, and everybody. Because, I mean, this is the corporate objectives. Then we are distilling, taking out these plans, strategic plan, to create a marketing plan. Because any marketing plan supposed to be the one that will be helping the company to reach its organizational, I mean, corporate goals. Again, in the industry, we have that problem as well, because usually the marketing people trying to, grab some awards in the industry, best advertising, best campaign awards, and things like that. So they just forget the corporate, the mission, corporate vision, and corporate strategy, and they just try to create some creative ideas and campaigns. However, this is the biggest difference between a successful marketeer and only populist marketeer. And if you have been a populist marketeer, I mean, your career will not be long term anyway, because in any of the economic crisis, usually it is the marketing budget is the first budget that is cut off by the company. But if you approach to marketing and communications strategically, you will be the department that will be helping most to the company to reach its strategic goals. So actually you are helping the company to reach its financial goals, its sales goals, its profitability goals. And that will be making your career long lasting. And that will be the thing that will make you a successful marketeer anyway. So what we are, how we are starting the marketing plan is first we are analyzing the situation. And I will be, explaining you what is this analysis. And when doing all these processes, again, we have to conduct market research and marketing researches. And in order to analyze this situation in the market, we need to conduct market research to understand the competitors, the competitor products, production capabilities and everything. And we need to understand the consumers as well. So we need to conduct a consumer research too. So after analyzing the situation in the market, we then setting up the marketing objectives. So these marketing objectives have to be in line with the corporate objectives anyway. So again, we have to, help the company to reach its own objectives. So after setting the marketing objectives, we are doing segmentation, targeting, and positioning studies. So we are segmenting the market. Then we define the most potential segments in the industry homogeneously. Then we choose 1, 3, 2, or 3 the priority target segment. And by taking the priority target segment in the center, we are positioning our brand. So positioning is the thing that how we want our consumers or priority target segments to perceive us actually. So the answer of this question, how we want our target segment to perceive us. So the answer is the pathway of our strategy actually. So we are then planning all our marketing mix in a way to reach this targeted positioning strategy. Okay, so this positioning strategy is the one that is differentiating us from the competitors and from other brands. And this is the position where our priority target segment finds most relevant and build the engagement with the brand. So this position is supposed to be the unique one for our target segment. Then we distribute this positioning strategy into marketing mix. We are making our product strategy, promotional, so communication strategies, pricing strategies, distribution strategies, and go-to-market plans accordingly to be able to reach this positioning strategy. Then actually, then the budgeting and implementation part come into place. Okay, so what we are briefing to the agency is this marketing mix and this positioning strategy of the campaign, of the product, or the marketing plan. Then we are asking them to create a strategic creative plan for us so that we will be able to reach number 8, our marketing objectives. So this is again the scientific and art part for the implementation. So the expect effective implementation from our creative agencies or creative departments. And again, in this phase, because we want a strategic approach, we want our agency to come up with the facts of the industry and with the facts of consumer research again. So we want them to prove us that their implementation plan or the campaign plan is relevant to our target segment. So we want to see some trends as well, some consumer research, the figures too. And these campaigns supposed to be supported with the data. Otherwise, they will be like tactical. And we don't like to see the tactics only, I mean, nice tactics only, because as I told you, I mean, sometimes I'm even talking with my mother about marketing, and even she has some ideas. She's saying that, why you're not doing some social media advertising so that, I mean, you can reach to some more consumers. Okay, I mean, really, I mean, even your grandma can say that, okay? This is very easy to say that because everybody knows advertising anyway. Everybody has some extent of creativity anyway. So what will be differentiating us from other many more, I mean, creative people is the idea.
I would like
Yes,
to add up something just right here.
please.
One of the thing I am observing some of the differentiations in between our departments. For instance, when you go to advertising department, interestingly, students of advertising department, they are kinda trying to get a balance in between data and being creative on ideas. They also little bit having a lack of technical skills on designing, especially on the visual design programs, but it can be something that they handle with in time. For instance, the exact experience that I had in visual communication design. Most of the time, our public relation students feel like they are lack of design programs. They don't have any technical skills. But the main feature that makes you the idea maker, decision taker, maybe decision who leads the decision making processes is the mindset that you put build up, and as almost we can say it as like a bridge in between data and the creative strategy. You will be the one who is responsible to see that, to see these details develop. And for instance, when you go to visual communication design department, they make the beautiful mock-ups and the posters and social media stuff and everything, like the people that deliver ideas to you. But the thing is, when you ask them in the first question, why you do that? Why you pick purple for your background? Why I pick the olive green for myself to wear that? I just think that it will go well. This is the answer. No, yeah, you know why they think it? They think that it will go well because some people already decided some colors for some segments by getting data from especially psychology, user behavior, blah blah. And the reason why what you point out there is pretty important, that you should be the one as corporate communication specialist, as head of marketing, whatever you might get as a title. You should know why you pick olive green. You should know. You should be able to explain it by data. Or, okay, I just put it over there. I just do that. I just know that it's not an explanation or a common or acceptable reason for anybody in the professional life. So thank you for explaining us this.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. I mean, and as the brand leaders, I mean, we are expecting our creative agencies to come up with this, because it's been more than 20 years that I'm in the industry of marketing. However, I don't know the technical details, as you know. I mean, I cannot create a campaign by myself, and I'm almost going to be a PhD right now. However, I really don't know. However, I mean, you have to, as you said, you have to know the psychology of colors, and you have to understand the behaviors and the even the media consumption of your priority target segment. I mean, for example, there especially, I mean, like I'm experienced this kind of deficits, especially from the social media agencies or digital marketing agencies. They just come up with good ideas. I mean, like, okay, I'm going to be a viral video and it will be do like this, do like. However, I mean, let's think that my sometimes target segment is not youth, and probably they're not in Instagram anyway. I mean, why you come up with this idea? I mean, even I know that my target segment is not in Instagram or in TikTok, for example. I mean, when I was in Sony Mobile, for example, I mean, we knew our target segment very well. I mean, recall it from 10 years ago. I mean, when Sony Mobile were in Turkey, launched in Turkey for the first time, and we conducted research about target segments. So we understand that they are usually younger men, and actually they were technology geeks, actually. So they were choosing Sony Mobile because other people was choosing either Samsung or iPhone, and they hated using the phone brands that others were using, and they were thinking that Sony Mobile is harder to use, and their technological specs are better than other popular phones, for example. So when our creative agency come up to us by telling us that we can use some influencers to advertise our campaign. Come on, influencers to technology geeks? Because technology geeks are, they are the guys that have power to influence others because they really knew technology very well. And sometimes they were calling even me as the marketing director saying, this price that you put is not correct. You don't know the industry. I mean, they were really brave to tell this kind of things. And they were thinking that they know the brand better than us, actually. But this can be a great opportunity on the other hand. So if a creative agency come to us with a piece of music, for example, a pop music to use in the advertising, saying that young people like this popular music, for example, or the rap music. I mean, but our target segment, they are tech geeks. Come on, they hate popular things and pop things. And you can not use any influencer because they hate influencers. It is the reason for using Sony Mobile is that we were not popular anyway. They hate popular things.
Yeah, they maybe label it as cheesy.
Exactly,
Common,
exactly,
regular
exactly.
stuff. Yeah.
And irrelevant anyway. So any the best creative idea is the one that is relevant with your target segment. And it is the one that is relevant with the interest area, the passion area of your target segment anyway. And the media plan too. I mean, you have to make your media plan according to the target segment in your mind anyway. I mean,
Ask you a question. I understand that in this case, you have some clues or forecasts about the target audience, what you might work with in Turkey. But basically, can we say that you don't have a clear definition and you should go out there and find your own data or the reality about, right? Am I getting it right?
yes, yes, sure. Because sometimes these researches were arriving us through the global team. However, sometimes we were conducting some consumer researches to understand our consumers. And sometimes if we have the research, we were, when giving the brief to the agency, we were, of course, putting this consumer data into the brief too. But sometimes, even though you put the consumer research in your brief, you are expecting your agency to conduct other kind of researches or data from the consumers, because I mean, because you expect them to uh, rely to a data when bringing you the creative idea. For example, we were working with Raffinery, the creative agency, and for media planning, we were working with Mindshare group and Mindshare. So when I was in LG, for example, I mean, let me give you a. Actually, I have some more slides, but let me give you a example without slides, so that let's see each other. Yeah. So, for example, when I was in LG, we come up with LG Cinema Club campaign. And that was my campaign. Actually, I don't know if you ever heard about it, but I really like the campaign. So yeah, LG global team, you know, gave us some strategic directions for the brand, and they said that, I mean, we are perceived as a mid-tier technology company, but our target is to be perceived as more premium. And we said yes, okay. And we conduct a research, find out that you know, the brand personality of LG during that time was not clear by the consumer. So they were not understanding what kind of personality LG has. Besides, the awareness was not there yet. So when we try to understand the brand's performance, we find out that sometimes they were not relying on LG well, and they were not understanding what really LG's business was. And we ask not the research company, but our creative agency and media planning agency because we said that our priority target segments were two target segments, which is one is, you know, middle to premium target segment, and the other one is, you know, the ones that are okay, not with a lot of disposable income, but has, you know, fine interest about cinema, about, you know, artistic things. So these were the two priority target segments that we choose. And we choose the two target segments by conducting research. So what we have done as a marketing department to find out the potential, the size of this target segment. So we said that, okay, the potential of these two target segments are enough for us. And we said that, I mean, we need to find out a place, an interest area that Samsung was not going, because we wanted to be differentiated. And our media agency conducted the research saying that, look, Samsung, okay, Samsung in the media, they have lots of budget, and when comparing the marketing budgets, I mean, Samsung has got 4 times more marketing budget than LG. So we had to be smarter than Samsung, because if you have money, you just, you know, put your money everywhere, and that's it. But this is not a successful application anyway. Okay, you have to be smart. So we were not able to, you know, beat Samsung with our marketing expenses anyway, because we have less budget. So we said that we need to be smart. And we find out that these priority target segments, media consumptions, was these movies on TV. We were not having Netflix during that time, so movies on the TV, and especially foreign movies. Okay, so we said that LG Cinema Club idea come into life with these two insights. Okay, what our target segment doing, and this data came from our creative agency and media planning agency, not a research agency, actually, because we conducted a research about the media consumption of our target segments. So we find out their interest areas, what they're watching really, how they're watching it, their passion zones. We found a passion zone for our target segment. So instead of talking about the pixel sizes of LG LCD TVs or you know, how nice we have the design of our products, because if we were talking about the design and functional benefits of our LCD TVs, we were competing with, again, Samsung actually, because we had to talk about the same things. And when we talk about the same things with Samsung, they talk more than us because of the budget. So that's how we created LG Cinema Club. So we said that, okay, we are going to talk about cinema only. So we had CNBC TV during that time. So we bought a foreign movie line on Sundays, and we call it LG Cinema Club. So we sponsored Film Ekimi and Istanbul Film Festival, and we call it LG Cinema Club actually. So we created our social media account as LG Cinema Club. We didn't create any account saying that LG TVs. I mean, because it's supposed to be like advertising. So this is creative actually. So when we have done a launch event, all the celebrities in Istanbul came to our launch because we were talking about cinema actually. So all the actors and actresses voluntarily wanted to come to the party, and they shared LG Cinema Club because they were helping their intellectual, you know, appearance as well in social media. So that's why, I mean, and at the end, we again conducted the research, finding out if this campaign had been successful or not. And we find out that the LG brand awareness increased by 7 times. LG preference increased by 4 times within a year, actually. And when we conducted the research, we have done a focus group interview with 3 groups, and we find out that, you know, when people were saying that, okay, I know Samsung, but I'm not sure about their personality, the brand personality, they were explaining much better the LG brand, because we at the same time put the personality to the brand too. However, as I said, I mean, this creative idea came from the creative agency and media planning agency together, and they work together too. But although we have given them some consumer researches, they conducted other researches like the media consumption of the target segment and their interest areas. And then when they were coming up with the Cinema Club idea, they were, you know, giving the facts, this data as the facts to supporting their creative idea. That's why we persuaded to implement this this campaign anyway. Other than that, we might go to a, you know, traditional campaign idea. So we could do some advertising talking about our functional benefits and emotional benefits of the brands with nice music and everything, and with all creative symbols. However, they persuaded us to come up with another creative idea and not a traditional advertising design actually.
Maybe because our students are Gen Z, they don't remember it, but let me define the era for you a little bit. I remember that LG came up with a really shiny, well polished, and seems like directly you can understand that they are A+ products at that point. And these campaigns help the brand to stick to the market. Otherwise, if you don't find these kind of creative words, or I can call it not creative, let's not say it like that, they are a response to a problem, effective solutions to problems. Because basically in the brief, Aysun Hoca told us there is a problem going on with a specific target group, with being the brand well known by that defined group as well. And also, I would like to underline some of the important point in this case. If you are working with common idea for common people with a huge money, it means that it is inevitable that you're gonna miss some of the important points and some of the important medium that reserved for you to make some smart moves, which is one of the important case and real life case from Aysun Hoca. You can find, for instance, as a global view, find a similar example from the, you remember the little girl as put into a sculpture and put it in the middle of the New York, just against the, I think, Wall Street, against the big bull. Its whole the idea was belong to an agency which they are create a foundation to collect money to spend on gender equality, but you don't even know the brand, you don't even heard of it, but all the profits are raised up. So it is the, you already did it very early stage, but it's kind of a today's perspective, strategic thinking, design thinking on what you do, even you don't do design, because design thinking is totally different. Basically, we can say that creating solutions for problems that you come across. So it's a nice example for that. And let me give you one more example to that. Please go there and check it out about the campaign, the Trash Island. There are some trashes gathering around the little bit the northwest side of United States of America. They are trying to create a campaign to get attention to that island, to make USA, which is a country consistently rejecting to sign the Kyoto Protocol. We have to mention that important stuff when it comes to that case. And they created a fake island. There's no island like that for sure, but they are metaphorically signing that trash island is like over there. And they create a flag for that island. They create passports and citizenship. These are all fakes, and invite famous people to be a part of it. Then they really, in real life, started to send letters to municipalities and the governmental, some of organizations, that they want to go out of USA citizenship and become a trash island citizen up until that point. So immediately you get the attention of the leaders of your country, and they start to look for what is trash island, pardon me, or something like that. So it's one of a nice example of a alternative thinking on campaigns and creating solutions. And you know what? This whole campaign belonged to Lead Bible, one of the media company, but you don't even heard of it. But they just did their point, get the solution they wanted to do for, and every single people after that point knows that Lead Bible cares about us. They become aware of our problems about our nature or world. So pardon me, I just can't have it because you inspire me a lot, Aysun.
That's great. I didn't know about that either, so it was nice to see.
I'll share the links both for you and our students for sure.
Okay, would be great. And guys, after planning this marketing plan, as I said, we need to create our marketing mix, like product, price, promotion, campaigns, and distribution strategy, as I told you. And of course, in the communications, we are focusing on the promotion part, so the communications part for it. And we need to create our promotion mix, like our advertising, sales promotions, public relations, and direct marketing, besides the personal selling points. So actually, as I told you, for integrated marketing communications, again, we're supposed to start with analyzing the market, then analyzing the target segment, then setting up the objectives, and accordingly planning all the marketing mix, like product, promotion, price, and distribution, and then come up with integrated marketing communications planning process. So when we have done this integrated marketing communications process, we are briefing the agencies. So I already talked about that. Yeah, okay. Maybe just as last slide before talking about the briefing process, I can talk about, you know, in the integrated marketing communications planning process, when we say that we need to start with situation analysis, we need to understand the customers, like the current customers, the former customers, the potential new customers, even the competitors' customers, okay, and consumers, and competitors like local, global, their sales processes, how they're selling, where they're, you know, selling, and their brand activities too. And we need to understand all the communication environment too, both our company's current communication, the messages to current and potential customers, and what kind of messages could be relevant to them, you know, the channel members, for the channel members, the employees, and all the communication industry. We need to understand where our competitors talking, what are they talking, what kind of messages they're giving, what kind of areas they're focusing, because remember that we need to find a perfect position to ourselves that will be differentiating us from the competitors, and that will be perfectly relevant with our target segment. I mean, that's supposed to be the best strategic plan anyway. So I don't have any other, you know, slides, but now after planning as the marketeers or marketing department, as we plan these processes, usually either we are collecting or inviting all our agencies together, or we might, you know, have different meetings with them separately. And we are briefing them. In the briefs, again, what we're delivering, our corporate, the company objective, and then we are giving them the marketing objective and our marketing communications objective. So we're giving three kind of objectives. So we give what we are trying to reach with the marketing communications objectives, the implications, what we are trying to achieve actually, because we want our agencies to come up with the idea that will help us to reach out these communications objectives, such as if we would like to increase the awareness. So in LG case, we had two different objectives. We said that smartly, we want to increase the brand awareness, okay? And we want to increase the likability of the brands in a given target segment. So that was a two solid objective. And we have given the KPIs to the agencies too. For example, we would like to increase the brand awareness from 30% to 60% within a year, or the likability of the brand from 50% to 60% within a year, or with a campaign anyway. So after that, if we have a consumer research, if we have a market research, we might give them the competitors, for example, product details. So because we want our agencies to find out the creative, differentiated idea. So we might give the competitors' products details, our product details, you know, some, you know, price activities for the brands too. Sometimes if we really know the behaviors of our consumers through research, we might give them, okay, these are the 2 or 3 priority target segments that we want you to focus, because we don't want our agency to focus all the potential target segments. We just want them to focus on the priority target segment, because there's no any brand in the world that is rich enough to reach everybody. Okay, so this is nonsense to reach everybody anyway. I mean, this is not the clever way to do campaigns. Then after giving them, we give them considerable time for them to conduct researches about our the communication ecosystem, the competitors approaches as I given you now, the competitors' media consumption or the messages that they are using, the way our priority target segment is talking, because in your messages, in your message design, you have to talk with the same language with your consumer. I mean, even Kılıçdaroğlu. I mean, have you seen his TikTok video lately? He was giving a speech to the youth on TikTok, and even Kılıçdaroğlu changed the way that he's giving messages in TikTok, for example. That's why in your creative approaches, you need to talk with the same way that your target segment is talking, use the same kind of sentences, use the same kind of words, for example, use the same kind of humor or entertainment, or the emotions that you're supposed to give have to be relevant with your target segment, because emotions are really different from target segment to target segment. We cannot say all the emotional symbols that you're using will be attracted by everybody, actually. When there are some advertising, for example, that my mom feels quite emotional, when I feel nothing at all, when I'm numb as the emotions. Then, or the music they like, or as Bernard just said, the colors that will be relevant with your brand, the brand personality, but it's attracted by the consumer segment as well. And with the themes, I mean, what kind of colors, what kind of, creative symbols I have to use so that I can be relevant to my consumer, and in their brain, they will be able to couple me, match me with these symbols, so they will have a complete theme, complete picture about my brand. So this is supposed to be the creative approach. And when we are expecting, after giving a considerable time to our creative agency, what we are, usually how they come, they come with a large debrief, we call it presentation. So first they talk about these insights, these researches, because this debrief presentation is the story that they are going to deliver of their creative ideas. So they have to build this story of their creative ideas, because they're supposed to persuade us, actually. So first they give the insights about the consumers, media consumptions and everything. So they start to develop their creative idea story. So they said, we come up with this idea. Then actually I'm reading a book nowadays. I'm trying to understand more about this storytelling nowadays. It is Hikaye Anlatıcısının Sırrı. The secret of a storyteller.
Talk like that.
Exactly, talk like that. That's my passion nowadays.
Really?
So,
I missed that.
yes.
Okay. I'll catch up.
So actually they supposed to build this story of passion, so they will persuade the marketeers, right, of the brand. So in a storytelling, you have to make your audience, so the marketing department in that sense, to imagine themselves through this campaign, or imagine themselves by conducting this campaign, or you have to help them to imagine the end result, the end implication of this campaign. So at the very end, to be able to, make your marketing department to visualize the campaign or imagine the campaign, you give them a mood board, actually. So in this mood board, it's supposed to be started with the facts, so with the consumer research and market research. So it is the end product of this debrief presentation, actually. So you have to take us through this process by giving the facts and arguments with the researchers and come up with a creative mood board so that we can imagine the let's say last product or the campaign, let's say.
And maybe the basic logic is the whole Aysun Hoca told us is referring to something like, let me give you two different car advertising examples, which I think fits well in this case. I don't even remember the car brand because I would like to show you the problem in the advertising. There was an advertising. There are beautiful footages and motion graphics going on through the advertising. You're just dying from pleasure by watching it. And I remember like that. I actually trying to reach it several times, but I couldn't find it. It says like, I am the passenger and I ride and I ride. Iggy Pop's beautiful epic song is also accompanying the advertising by using that sound. But you know what main problem is? There is no relation in between both visuals and the sounds with brand. I don't remember it. It can be belong to Ford, it can be belong to Volkswagen, it can be belong to any other brand. Then it means that you didn't create a story, you didn't follow through the data, you didn't want to reach people, and like you remember in the beginning of conversation, we underlined the part that you are the ones who build bridges in between brand, what the brand is exist for, what you use it for. If you just deliver out their beautiful, pleasurable images and just being creative, fancy, let's say it, obtrusive, it doesn't mean anything because you will get the 9. Remember, we talked about good design, 9 principles of good design. You take and trash, go send it to trash, the 9 principle of it, and just keep the aesthetic one and pleasurable one. Reason why I can remember it. But I don't know, you know it, but I think Aysun Hocam knows it. Remember, there was a Peugeot advertising, 2 of Hindu guys trying to create Peugeot by smashing with hammers because they like it a lot, just admiring it, trying to reach that car, but they don't have money. Reason why? They just go out there, take a random car, and with hammers trying the same exact shape of Peugeot because it has a recognizable different shape from other cars, because they made a relation. Or I just checking up on the DNAD briefs. Currently, they are delivering to university students New Blood Awards. They deliver out there the OMA brief, the strategic idea that dirt is good. And this time the task is delivering this umbrella idea to Gen Z. So I think these are whole referring to the situation you talked about, what you should put in the mood board. Actually, I was about to ask you to how a marketer behave on a daily basis, in a regular day, but you kind of give the clues of it. If you would like to add up something, Aysun Hocam, we will be happy to. I mean, we get these ideas, but on a daily basis, what we do when we sit down, all this stuff, take our coffees, what's happening with this whole process? What do you look for?
Actually, I mean, for a marketeer, of course, the first job is to build the brand, to build the long-lasting reputation, and work on with all the processes and work with all the departments to build this reputation or to eliminate any kind of risks that might raise any crisis. However, I mean, usually the target that we always have in our mind is the sales figures and profitability, to be honest with you. So how are we going to sell? So, well, of course, the sales department thinks about the same thing. However, the difference from the marketing department and sales department, although we have the same target, is the marketing department has more creative approach to sell the products anyway. So exactly, I mean, we give a complete story about the brand to sell the product.
Or
we are not
aware that you should deliver it every single time, like a maestro of an orchestra.
Exactly. So, I mean, for example, sometimes the sales department go for sales, and they come with a big project, like, okay, we sold that much thousands of products to some of the channels. Let's say once we were trying to increase our market share, and we said that, okay, we are going to be more premium brand because we don't like the way that people perceive us, so we are upgrading our positioning strategy, we said. So, but in the other day, sales department came and said that, okay, we negotiated with Migros, and they agreed to range our products and sell it, and we are going to decrease the price a little bit. And we said, no. I mean, although this will help us to increase the brand share, I mean, this will be a very short-term success, because in the long-term success, we will be able to sell our products with a good story.
Yeah.
And in order to build a consistent brand story with a, attractive personality, okay, you cannot sell in Migros, because I'm going to sell it in Teknosa with a much more higher price anyway. So bear with me, you cannot sell it. We were fighting a lot. We were fighting a lot.
Sometimes
However,
sometimes we lose, but
yeah.
so
So we didn't let them, because that was not the story, or that was not the personality of our brand. We said we cannot sell in Migros. Sorry, we can only sell in a premium points. So I can say that a marketing department is the strategic department that is orchestrating all the departments and leading the brand strategy to build to have a personality in a brand, and to reflect this personality with a good story, with a good long-term story. Actually, that's how I can maybe summarize the position of marketing and what we are doing in daily life, actually.
Thank you. Because time to time, these all abstract ideas, it's hard to take them from the air and put it on the ground. And your speech and experiences help us a lot to be able to do
I
that.
hope so.
Before,
I mean, the last
yeah.
The last thing is that, I mean, the brand personality, and for the creative campaigns as well. I mean, it is very important to incorporate and think about this brand personality. So it is the same thing for us. I mean, think about your friends, for example. We are building long-term relationship with the ones that if their personality is closer to our personality, and if this personality is consistent and reliable at the same time. For example, as a person, we all have a personality, and we are wearing our shirts, our, even our fringes, the makeups. These are the symbols that we're trying to reflect our personality. For example, I'm wearing best çanta İngilizce nasıl diyeceğim?
Tote bag.
Yeah, I mean, a normal market bag, because I'm trying to build a personality as a sustainable person, So in the evening, with the evening dresses even, I'm using these bags because I'm trying to build a personality. That's what I like to reflect about myself. So if you see me with different kind of clothes, for example, or different kind of speeches, you will be you will have a mixed understanding about my personality, so you won't be able to rely on me. So it is the same thing for the brand. Actually, with our stories, we are trying to build a solid personality for our brand, and with the creative approach and all the selling approaches too, we are trying to consistently deliver this personality.
Consistent is a really magic word in here. For instance, yeah, let's assume that you have a tote bag with you, but you are wearing flip-flop. One of the biggest reasons the earth gets polluted. It means that you are a little bit of shallow and kitsch, right? You don't maybe do your homework well as you should. Yeah, so yeah, there are a lot of things to talk about, but yes, every single decision that we make us also should be done for the brand. Before I'll go to, do you have anything? Please tell us, Aysun Hocam.
Yeah, guys, any questions? Guys, if you have any questions.
Before I open up the Q&A option, I have one last question. We are now going through to break down states of a brief. Brief is belong to, I'm not gonna go dive and read that long text, but basically the national women football team has an issue being known, supported by the society, even though they are also belong to our nation and representing us in foreign countries or global championships. We are going through we have that kind of problems, we cannot even call it as a company. It's totally in a different state. But do you have any, I'm not asking for any ideas, but for the process, do you have any suggestions that our students should follow? Our midterm assignment is creating a mood board first and the story. And the second one, through the finals, they are responsible for creating a brand book, totally packaged with some creative contents and umbrella idea or blah blah, as you already know. Do you have any tips and tricks that they should follow a path and their journey would be much more easier then?
Well, actually, I have the only tip that I might give was anyway delivered through my speech today too. I mean, you have to start with the target segment. I mean, or actually, you already mentioned and give the brief about the target, and you said that to increase the women's football awareness, right? So that's the target. So you have to start with target segment. I mean, how we are going to increase the brand awareness for football, women football league. So is it the audience will be men? The audience will be women, young, or white collars? Who will be the audience segment, and why actually? Why you should this audience? You always have to, when decide about something, you have to come up from the data from the market and consumers, and you need to have a question in your mind, why, and you have to give the answer of this why anyway. So why you are choosing the priority target audience to build this league actually, and what are they talking in social media, in the blogs and everywhere? Where are they talking? What are they talking? What kind of messages or words, let's say, they're using?
Terminology,
what kind
they have, yeah.
Exactly, terminology, and what kind of colors would attract them, and maybe some other interest points of these guys. I mean, obviously that will be football, but maybe, for example, improving women's football might be coming from a audience that is quite keen on gender equalities. So that maybe that will maybe that will be the target segment that will trigger all the spark. I mean, why football is played by men only? Maybe that might be the starting point. I'm just I don't know. I mean, you have to conduct a research and understand these guys.
Giving example.
Yeah,
we have some cases
throwing
that
out.
already established some successful stories like Belgium and Germany. Also, they can go check it out there. But it's all again, like you're referring, a part of a deep research, for sure. So you heard the woman, guys. You know what to do after this point. Now I am opening the Q&A sessions. If there's anyone out there would like to ask something, get some tips and tricks, feel now with an expert right now. At least you can join the conversation if you don't even have a specific. Firuze, come on over.
I have no question, but thank you for your thoughts.
Thank you, Firuze. Thanks for listening. Oh, really? That's good. I'm happy to hear that.
So are we good? All good? You're satisfied?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Very big yes from Tenca. Okay, then thank you, Aysun Hocam, for your contribution and every single piece of knowledge that you deliver us, gained by experience, sweat, and very hard work.
I'm old now. Okay. Thanks for inviting me, Berna Hocam, and thank you guys for listening, and very, very nice to meeting you. I hope to see you again in the school or in social media.
Graduate level maybe, right?
Yes.
See you.
See you. Thank you, guys. Bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, we are on our own at this point, guys. I would like to give a break and then we can come back. As you might notice that I invite Aysun Hoca to deliver us some insights from the professional life, because mood board or brand book is not something we just pick colors, put out there, find some typefaces. There is a whole important processes going on, and reason why I don't want to deliver you some lower grades, I wanted to be sure that we are working we are going on the same path, working with same terminology or something like that. Reason why I will open up a midterm section in its learning beginning from today and deliver you extra some 5 days to make you to give you some additional time to work on it, because I believe after this session there might be some changes, slightly or major ones in your project. Who knows?
Hocam, can you give us some feedbacks today about our mood boards?
Sure, we can talk about it, because I really wanted to discuss all the ideas together with each other, and even because we are not competitors in here, my main goal is together, like working as an agency, like the members of an agency work together, create one and deliver it to Turkish Football Federation. And I wanted to see your work over there and be proud of it. This is our main goal. And you know what? More than one person can be mentioned over there. This is not a competition. This should be, I think, a community work as our department. So I think you also might need a break to get at least a coffee or something. We can meet together at around 16:10. Is okay for you, I guess? 15 minutes?
Yes, it's okay.
Thank you.
Okay. See you. Bye.